for joining us at the BWIO show. Today we're here with Chantal Braziel, a fabulous soprano, a Met soprano, international soprano, just a wonderful singer and a beautiful spirit. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's so wonderful to be here.
Oh, we're going to have so much of a good time talking about opera and your journey with opera. So can you start off by telling me, when did you fall in love with opera?
The first time I fell in love with opera was when I first went off to college to pursue my Bachelor's of Arts in Music Performance at St. Vincent College here. I am a native in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I went to St. Vincent College during my undergrad. I've been singing all of my life. I took lessons. I grew up singing in the church. My parents are both ministers and pastors, so I am still very active in the church, very local here in the city. But I didn't know anything about opera or classical music at all until my former voice teacher at my undergrad introduced me to a whole new world of opera. As soon as she heard my voice when I had lessons with her, she could tell right then and there that I am an opera singer. I wanted to sing gospel music. I thought I was going to be a famous gospel singer when I grew up. But everybody around me, especially my former voice teacher, told me, like, no, you are not a gospel singer, you are an opera singer. And so she introduced me to such black opera singers because I didn't even realize that there were so many black African American people in the career in opera. So she introduced me to singers such as my model, Leontine Price. She introduced me to Kathleen Battle, Jesse Norman. She told me to look those singers up, especially Leontine Price, because I had a similar voice as hers. So I looked her up, and she told me to look up such operas such as Porgy and Bess, that was for black singers. Also, um, different operas in different languages, such as The Magic Flute, The Marriage of Figaro, operas that would be suitable for my voice. And I still wasn't, like, I was starting to get interested, but it wasn't my passion until I sang in a oratorio sacred concert at my school. And that was how I received a lot of attention for my voice, because I am very active on social media. So I posted my video, and those who knew me, everyone who I grew up with, knew I could sing. But when they heard that I could sing like that, they were absolutely stunned. They were blown away. So, and a lot of people encouraged me to keep pursuing this path. So my former voice teacher, everybody around me told me to keep pursuing this path because I really could have a great career in this. So I started to research even more singers and even more operas, and that's when I started to have a true love and passion for it, because opera is all about natural singing in different languages, and you have to have a love and respect for it in order to sing it.
Yes, you are so right. It is about natural singing, and I always find it so amazing how we get in these voice lessons, we get in this environment where opera is introduced to us like formally, and it's just like, oh, my voice can do that, and this is just something that my soul wants to sing. And it's just always so amazing to hear like what happens when you like been introduced to one genre and then you just introduce to opera, which is a totally different way of understanding the voice. So it's always really, really amazing to me. I have a similar story. My teacher was an opera singer in high school, so I don't know why. I just wanted to do it. So I just made him give me voice lessons, and it's just like knowing that my voice could do that. Like you said, was just it just felt amazing, and people were like, "Okay, that makes sense." And it's just like not that other things don't make sense, but this makes real sense to me. So
Mhm.
I love that. I love that. So what oratorio did y'all sing? Like what were you?
I remember I was in my sophomore year when I sang the oratorio by J.S. Bach, Seufzer Tränen in Not. And that's one of my favorite oratorios, because that was one of the very first oratorio that I ever sang. Because singing sa- um, singing oratorios gave me the opportunity to continue singing spiritual and sacred music, even classically.
Mhm.
So that is what I loved about it. And it had a powerful meaning behind it. Plus, it was suitable for my voice. So my voice teacher could tell that I could sing that very well. And that is how it blew everybody's attention. That I can still sing gospel music, but I can sing gospel classically. I could sing spirituals, oratorios, hymns. I don't believe that it's limited.
Right. Yeah, yeah, because it's like you get to still be the person that you are and
Hmm.
express express, your love, God's love in a different way, in this a classical way. And I think that that's very important for us to remember. Like you still got to be who you are and present the love that you know into this world. That's such a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. I believe that God gave me this voice and He wouldn't have given me this type of voice for me not to use it. And singing classically, singing in operas gave me the opportunity to sing. My dream has always to be singing on stage. And whenever I sing on stage, I feel even more of a like a relationship with God even more that I can express and reach out to other people. So I'm happy about that.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. And I think that that's something that we all need to remember, especially when we're thinking about like performance anxiety and like how do you manage that? How do you manage that? And just remembering what your intentions are. This is how I feel closest to God and how I feel closest to sharing the message that, He has for me to share. So when you're thinking about like those things that keep you motivated, what are some other things that keep you motivated on this journey in the most beautiful but also very challenging field?
It is this is, even though I've had some golden things in this journey, it has been far from easy. And I think what keeps me motivated are the ones who came before me in a time where opera wasn't always open for them, such as Leontine Price and even Marian Anderson, who I didn't know was a classical singer until later on. And it's their courage, it's their belief in God that brought them to how we know them today. So I looked up even more singers that I didn't know about, like Cicerita Jones, even before Leontine Price and Marian Anderson, and how they made it in a field where it wasn't open to them. And it took a lot of hard work, it took a lot of their passion. So I looked up to the Black classical pioneer singers who did it, because if I look at them and they did it, then they gave me the opportunity to say I can do it just as well. So it's them, it's my faith. That is right, first and foremost, your faith, that you have to believe that God gave you a gift. And with that gift, you have to learn to love your voice. You have to learn how to motivate yourself, discipline yourself, where you don't always feel like singing, especially during this time. So I look up to those singers because they did it, and so can I. My faith in God, and just your love, the love of singing itself, that continues to keep me going. And it takes a whole village to be successful. Also, your family, your friends, those who are also in the classical field, but it's also important to find real supporters who care about you, who see your potential, your voice teachers, those who you've worked with that really believe in you as well. So, yeah.
Yes, I love how you talking about people that really believe in you and just having that support system because it's not easy, I know, to stay focused, especially now. And I feel like you've been doing so much work. You did the outdoor concert last year, and now you're working with National Opera House. You're just like you're keeping going. You came to BWIO Fest, and you're still singing. You're still getting contact. You're winning competitions. You're doing all these things and staying
Hmm.
motivated. And I feel like having that support team is just so important. So,
Hmm.
like during the quarantine, you've been able to do so much. Were there times when you just felt like, oh, I cannot keep going?
Oh, yes. A whole lot of times when I felt like I should have just rested my voice, I just kept going because I didn't want my voice to stay silent. I didn't want to my spirit to be low, but I have to tell you, with everything going on recently in our world, it has really damaged my spirit in a bit, but then it's not broken.
Yeah.
I had to realize that through this whole thing, I had to keep working because I have to focus on the art because it taught me that I can still make a difference even when so many things are going on. Now, what I feel like it's good to remember is to rest. You don't always have to sing whenever you feel like it's a heavy load and overload. Just I learned to take a breather. I don't always have to sing, and whenever I do, I take a break. I take care of myself, and then I go back at it again, because you can only go up from there. You can still find something good, especially in singing when so many things are going on. That's what keeps me going.
Yeah, I feel like it's always like when the strongest emotions come, that's when you want to sing the most. It's just like this is such a strong emotion. It's something that we know, we've heard about through history, heard about from our parents. It's just like very heavy to deal with now in this present time, but it's just like singing and using and having joy and having perseverance and just showing that this is how I'm making a difference in this world is what honestly what we need, honestly what we need to remember in our spirits and our souls, and honestly what we need to show the world that we are going to keep going and not give up. I love
Absolutely.
how you talked about the balance too, because
Yes.
that's something I had to learn too, especially now with quarantine. It's just like you got to find that balance.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been lucky to just like, I know I need structure.
Exactly.
I know I need structure. So I have been in some opera programs just to keep myself, okay, I'm going to learn this and this is going to help me keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think is the most important thing for young singers to understand as they're on their own journey in opera?
I would say for young singers who are starting, you have to learn to keep enjoying your journey. It is a process. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not always going to be what you want it to. And I have learned this recently. Just because you didn't get something, you didn't get an audition or the competition that you were in, doesn't mean that you failed. The thing is, you are still here. You made it. It doesn't determine winning something or being a part of something doesn't determine how you made it. It depends on how you're going to continue even if you don't get what you want. And you have to continue working on your craft, perfecting on your craft. Work in the process, enjoy it. Find something that you enjoy. Whenever you feel that you don't enjoy something or you feel like you don't want to do this anymore, go back to when you first started and look at how far you have already come. Yes, you still have a long way to go. I'm still young. I still have a long way to go. But then looking back at how I first started and at how I have grown, not only vocally, but emotionally and spiritually, I had to say that I have come a long way. And I know that it's far from over. But during that, you have to learn to enjoy it, focus on the reason behind it, love what you do, practice so that way, once that opportunity comes, you are ready for it.
Yes, yes. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That's my
Yeah.
favorite thing. That's my favorite thing to remember. Is just say you gotta stay ready. There's
Mm-hmm.
always gonna be a time. There's always gonna be something that's gonna happen, and you gotta. If you're ready, I mean, you can just go to the sky. So I love that. Just like finding the love for your own journey, because everybody's journey is not the same.
Exactly.
My mom's thing is she always used to tell me like everybody has their own path, and that's the thing that I remember all the time. Like just because I see this person doing this or this person excelling in this thing, or it doesn't have nothing to do with me and what I know, the vision that I have over my life. It's just like loving what my journey is, because everything is going to teach you something and going to help
Exactly.
you along the way.
Exactly. You can't look to the left or to the right of you. You have to look right in front of you. And I know it is hard because you see so many of your colleagues going up there doing amazing things, but that's good for them. But you have to find out what works for you and what's good for you and what you're doing. Don't ever compare yourself to anybody else, because at the end of the day, people are going to look at you. You got to look at yourself and see how blessed you are in this journey.
Yes, and that's what I love about opera. It's like everybody sound different. Like everybody sounds completely different. No
Yeah.
matter if you have two full lyric, whatever, they're gonna sound like two different people. And that's the beauty of opera. You can sound just like yourself singing what is best for your voice, and it's gonna
Exactly.
help you to shine. Like that's what I love about it. Because everybody just sounds so like distinct and so different, and people could have to be singing the same roles and they just approach it in different ways, and it's both beautiful. So that's what I love about opera.
And just like how Leontine Price was herself, she inspired me to be myself, to be Chantal Braziel. Find my voice and don't be like anybody else's.
Yes, yes, I love when she talks about you have to love the sound of your own voice and how she fell in love with herself. Yes, yes. So let's talk a little bit about Porgy and Bess at the Met. Like, how was that journey? I mean, I just was. Let me tell you my side of the story because we just started Black Women in Opera. I mean, I say we, but it was me. We just started Black Women in Opera, and I just saw these people say, "Okay, I know this person. I seen this person," and just all the announcements started coming in. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" I can't. I was so excited. So tell me about how you felt. What was going on in on your side?
Well, I've heard about how Porgy and Bess was coming to the Met in the 2019-2020 season, but never ever did I think that I would be in it. I planned to see it, but it wasn't until because I'm on social media, I have connected with many other classical singers, and one of them who was a Met chorister, her name is April Haynes, reached out to me, and she has been following me for a while, and she told me you need to audition for Porgy and Bess because they're looking for African American singers to fill the chorus. And so, with a lot of prayer and the help of my supporters and my family, I went up there. I received my first audition at the Metropolitan Opera, which was a blessing in itself. It went very well during the beginning. At first, I did not get it because the chorus has already been filled. So I didn't think any more of it. I was thankful to have received the Met audition itself, and I didn't think anything of it. But it wasn't until the very end of spring, beginning of summer, that I received a call that I had been accepted to be in the ensemble of Porgy and Bess. You can imagine how absolutely happy, shocked, and amazing I felt. So, with the help of my teachers, because I was in school at the time. I was pursuing my master's, which I've completed at Carnegie Mellon University. So I talked to them. They have supported me. My voice teacher helped me get prepared for my part in the chorus. And I went up there, and my life has changed for the better. It's partly because of Porgy and Bess that I have grown personally as a singer and as an individual. To know, see, to work with, and hear so many black opera singers in one room, fill the room with so many heavenly voices that we were so blessed and happy to be there. The joy felt so real. I was thankful because I had always dreamed of singing at the Metropolitan Opera. And when I visited there, I told myself I didn't know when or how but I was going to sing at the Met. And this happened. I had the most wonderful time. I worked with some of the most amazing instructors, directors who were also happy that we were all there. We filled the entire place with so much love, with so much black melanin voices that it everybody was overjoyed that we heard us. Every rehearsal, from the very first day of rehearsal up until the first opening night of Porgy and Bess, everybody was happy to be there. I was beyond thrilled to be there, to be among so many people who I've met either online in person for the first time. And everybody had a strong vibe that we became a family out of the chorus in Catfish Row. We became a family on the stage and off the stage because we felt the community. We were a whole family. We got along with our chorus instructor. We got along with the stars of Porgy and Bess, such as Angel Blue. Everybody was happy that we were all there. Everybody got along with everybody. I was just happy to be filled in a room with so many black, beautiful voices that were just as overjoyed to be there as I was. So I don't regret it at all. It was one of the most spectacular, memorable things that I have ever done.
That's amazing. That's such a. I mean, let's like talk about a journey.
Yes.
That is a journey, and I just remember that opening night was just so. It's just like you said, it was like electric. It was like so many people there. They were all happy and joyful and joyous, and then y'all got four extra shows.
Right.
So good. Everybody wanted to see that experience, the love y'all had for each other, and what y'all had to present. It was just amazing. So I really, really, really enjoyed. Um, and coming to Porky and Bess in New York. So tell me about the future for you. What's happening next?
I believe that because things have been still because of COVID, I only can go up from here.
Mm.
I just received my master's and I'm done with school. I can only look forward to what God has in store for me yet. Um, I have received some upcoming things, some upcoming performances that I'm looking forward to, like auditions and competitions. So many things are happening, and I will keep you posted on what I do. So,
Yes, I love to boost you up on Instagram. It's like my favorite thing. Every time you got good news, I'll be like, yes,
yes.
go, let's go. So tell us a little bit about National Opera House and about the campaign that's going on.
Yes, so that's also one of the things that I have done quite recently. Since I live in Pittsburgh, I know that there, a long time ago, there was an all black opera house called the National Negro Opera House that was founded by Madam Mary Cardwell Dawson. And she was also one of the black classical pioneers because through her opera company here, she opened doors to so many singers within the community, so many performance opportunities in a time where it wasn't always open for them. And now, lately, we are trying to repair the opera house because it is in a state of disarray. And so I'm currently working with my director and another singer named Candace Burgess. So I also had the opportunity to sing outside of the opera house this past week to bring donations and awareness so that way we can rebuild the opera house, so that way once we have the money that we need to build it, it could be it could honor Madame Dawson's legacy of creating something great within singers in the community and hopefully worldwide. So what we started to do was we are making an opera challenge in which other singers can sing any selections they would like, explain the reason, the significance behind the Black Opera House, and you can encourage other singers to do so, because I feel like it is important for an opera house such as the National Negro Opera House to stand because of the legacy Madam Cardwell Dawson left behind. She left behind so many opportunities that could open doors for people like you and me and everybody in the community, everybody in wherever you are.
I love that. So I'll have some more information about that at the end of this video so y'all can rewind and see, fast forward, I mean, and see that. But thank you so much for joining us. And this passion about this is, I mean, it's unparalleled and it's something I didn't know about. So I'm interested to learn more and I'm interested to see how it goes and, help with this cause.
Yes.
So this is my last question. If you could write an opera, what would it be about?
If I could write an opera, it would be about Marian Anderson, because even she was one of the first singers that paved the way and opened barriers that people need to have more awareness of. And it would also would be about Madame Cardwell Dawson, because she created this historical landmark here that people need to know. And she opened doors for other black classical pioneers such as LaJulia Ray, who played Aida through their production, and Robert McFerrin Sr., who both made it to places such as the Met. I feel like both of them need to be remembered. in that way.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be beautiful. Just talking about how important community is to opera, especially Black opera, and just how important women are to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here. Where can we find you? Where can we follow you? What's going on?
Yes, you can follow me under Facebook under my personal account Chantal Brazil or my professional account Chantal Brazil, classical soprano. I am also here on Instagram, Chantel Classical Singer.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later.
Thank you.
And